Ted, what do you think America's place in the new world order should be? It's always been seen as the global policeman. But as you said before, it's hard to see with all these military conflicts where the winner and loser lies. What should America be doing
I think
globally?
The global policeman should be the United Nations. And I don't think we should need one. I think we should use courts the way we do in civilian life.
There is a major crisis at our border. You know this. Hundreds of thousands of illegals streaming across, and now they are being held at many refugee-like camps staged at military bases across the country.
And I think what's really disturbing is coming from the people, the actual workers, the nurses and doctors who tell me they've been told to keep their mouths shut. They've been said that if they speak out about the conditions, what's happening with the health of the children, that they will find themselves immediately fired. And they've also been threatened with arrest for speaking out. So there really is this shroud of secrecy.
Basically, what we're seeing, it's plain and simple, is a rampant abuse of our immigration system. We have a situation right now where our federal government is pretty much aiding and abetting and facilitating the smuggling of these individuals, of these illegal aliens. These illegal aliens cross our borders illegally.
Obama's civilian security force takes control of migrant internment camps, abide by brown shirt laws. In the run-up to the 2008 presidential election, Barack Obama promised he would work to implement a domestic security force, which would rival that of the U.S. military.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
Now reaching out to the federal Homeland Security Director for answers she says the president isn't giving.
And to Texas now, where we're learning exclusively about a new health threat coming from illegal border crossers. The Border Patrol now worried about a virus outbreak.
And as of right now, DHS has denied every request I've made to speak to medical staff and take tours of the 3 facilities right here in Texas that are providing treatment.
There are people with measles and tuberculosis getting on public buses in this country and on airplanes. They're flying everywhere. They don't know. The person next to them don't know that. Could there possibly be an outbreak of stuff we haven't been exposed to in decades?
After touring Border Patrol facilities in Brownsville Saturday morning, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi was slow to call the flood of women and children illegally crossing the border a crisis.
And this crisis, that some call a crisis, we have to view as an opportunity.
With 4 to 5 times the number of detainees these facilities were designed for, Brownsville Congressman Filemon Vela is calling it a logistical crisis. After seeing images similar to these taken by other congressional visitors to holding facilities, Pelosi vowed to help these young refugees.
Anyone who comes here sees that this is a community with a border going through it. We're all Americans in this hemisphere, North and South America.
Part of a broader agenda. President Bush signed a formal agreement that will end the United States as we know it. And he took the step without approval from either the U.S. Congress or the people of the United States.
Political officials across our country, from communities, from cities and so forth, they don't know anything about this.
Now, a very interesting conference took place in London yesterday. It was the Margaret Thatcher Conference on Liberty. Former Border Patrol agents have said this is orchestrated and contrived for political purposes. And of course, the emphasis is not just on the fact that this is an association of former Border Patrol officers. It's really, I think, the emphasis on the fact that we have a former border. And Petraeus makes it very clear of what replaces America. Here's that clip.
After America comes North America. Are we on the threshold of the North American decades? Question mark. I threw away the question mark, and boldly proclaimed the coming North American decades as the title now. It's founded on recognition that if you put these 3 economies together, as has been the case 20 years into the North American Free Trade Act implementation, you find unique countries in terms of demographics.
So General Petraeus goes to this conference with Margaret Thatcher's name, and he essentially dances on the grave of the sovereign state of America that he says is being replaced or has been replaced by NAFTA.
Have the PC police gone too far this time? A former Kentucky bank teller claims she was fired simply for telling customers to have a blessed day. And now she's fighting back with a lawsuit against the bank. You've been working at U.S. Bank for nearly 2.5 decades, and you say that it's normal for you to say, have a blessed day. I know from growing up in the South, people say that on their voicemails all the time. Hey, call me back, have a blessed day. But you got fired for it. Set us up. Tell us what happened.
I was told that I was not allowed to tell customers to have a blessed day anymore, that there had been several complaints. And I told them that I didn't agree with that I had been saying it for over 2 years at that point without complaint from anybody, management, anything. And ultimately, I was let go because of it.
Morning, Target is the latest major retailer to ask customers to leave guns at home. This is after a push from a group started by a mom in Zionsville.
And the gun battle continues, the battle over gun rights. Who can carry, when, and where? Target is the latest retailer asking customers not to carry guns in their stores. As you said, this is a nationwide push started by someone locally in Zionsville. And this is her group. It's called Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And this organization says it wants companies to adopt policies promoting what they call common sense approach to guns. Others already on board include Starbucks, Chipotle, and Costco.
More people and places are switching to energy-saving LED bulbs. Now, a California company is turning those cutting-edge lights into networks. They can send and receive data, but as Bill Whitaker shows us, the technology creating new opportunities also raises privacy concerns.
Should you find yourself in Terminal B at Newark Airport, look up. Those aren't just new lights, they're smart lights, a sophisticated array of LED fixtures with built-in sensors and cameras. Across the globe, cities are phasing out old energy-wasting incandescent and sodium bulbs and replacing them with LEDs. There are about 4 billion outside lights in the world today. Imagine all these lights connected in one global network.
LED lights connected to 7 cameras in a seamless grid that is tracking and recording my every move.
The smart network could track every place we go, everything we buy, everything we do all the time.
It sounds rather Orwellian.
That young lady, an ASU professor, thrown to the ground by an ASU police officer after refusing to show her ID. The county attorney's office decided to charge the professor with aggravated assault, but Ursula Orr says it was the officer who was out of line.
911, where's your emergency?
Hey, I'm on College and 5th Street, and there's a police officer who's getting way too aggressive with the young lady who's on the street.
Put your hand behind your back right now. I'm going to slam you on this car. Put your hand behind your back.
Do you really want to do that? Do you see what I'm wearing?
I don't care what you're wearing. Put your hand behind your back right now.
Don't talk to me like this.
The confrontation caught on dashcam video between ASU professor Ursula Orr and an ASU police officer who stopped her while walking in the middle of the street. The situation quickly escalates. The ASU officer says Orr repeatedly refused orders, and as he attempts to handcuff her, the struggle intensifies.
Stop fighting me and put your hand behind
your back. Stop touching me.
Put your hand Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
Stop!
Professor Orr, wearing a dress, is left exposed while on the ground.
Her dress was up, and the officer was reaching toward her anatomy. And after what had already happened, she felt uncomfortable with his hands going there.
We're now getting word that an Indiana police officer will be allowed to keep his job, despite a pretty shocking incident that was caught on tape. Take a look.
Whoa! What the
Police were called to a charter school after reports of an armed man, but they say they found that 25-year-old man in a wheelchair. Police say he had agreed to leave the scene, but then he ran over the officer's foot. That's when the officer pushed over the wheelchair. An investigative panel recommended that he be fired, but a civil service commission decided to give him a 1-year suspension instead.
A violent encounter captured on video, an encounter between a California Highway Patrol officer and a woman.
A stunning and violent confrontation caught on camera as a CHP officer unleashes a barrage of blows.
The most animalistic, most brutal, most way to subdue someone is to pound their face in the concrete with really big blows to the head.
David Diaz shot the video of the brutal confrontation from his car. It happened Tuesday night around 6:30. You see the woman walking on the eastbound 10 freeway near the La Brea on-ramp. The CHP officer tackles her to the ground and begins to punch her in the face.
And he's really pounding her head in.
Diaz doesn't know what sparked the beating. Just before he grabbed his camera, he saw the officer chasing the woman around a pickup on the on-ramp. The truck pulled away, and this is what Diaz recorded.
This isn't some trade agreement. It is a total removal of sovereignty from these countries, which will also result in a completely new currency called the Amero. The American Constitution will eventually be obsolete. You would think that a situation like this would be on the cover of every major newspaper. That is until you realize that the people who are behind this movement are the same people behind the mainstream media